In this video I do some landscape photography around a small, old and absolutely beautiful Italian town. I got exactly what I wanted with beautiful conditions of low-hanging fog and sunrise light, photographing both the town and some more original photos. I also got to fly both my drone and make some time lapses. So if you love landscape photography, lean back and enjoy the video. Also, this video is sponsored by me and my own products, because I'm a masochist who prefers the stress that follows by making videos for a fluctuating and unpredictable YouTube audience instead of being sponsored by a huge financially stable company who can deliver a steady, secure and predictable income stream. Okay, jokes aside, more about that later. So we are at a town called San Gimignano or something like that. Here's the name. And right now we're trying to photograph a little bit of fog we have here in the valley. So the town is like up here, the fog haven't come properly in. So we're working our way down this road and hopefully there will be some fog down there. But we just passed by this nice little composition right here. There's like some layers that are mimicking each other, and that is what we are photographing. So apparently there is fog, but not a whole lot. So yeah, we're just hammering on and hopefully we'll find a place where it makes a little bit more sense to get a shot. Well, it's not that this doesn't make sense, it's just that I really want a shot of that town because that looks so good. So we have come to another viewpoint where it seems to be next to nearly perfect in regard to the fog. I brought out the big gun because, as you can see, I'm quite far from the town, which is all the way up here. But you can also see I have the fog there in the foreground. Put on the big gun here. Even though I'm shooting with less than 200mm, I do think that it is nice to just have that extra reach in case I need it, because that town right there is very, very far away. But it looks so beautiful. The background clouds are a little bit pink, so I should be able to pull some of that color out. But yeah, this is just a very, very beautiful morning. I think we'll shoot a little bit further here, and then depending on how the fog operates, changes, we may find another viewpoint. But it's hard to figure out whether we will find anything that is actually better than what we have right here. Beautiful. Now we just wait for the sun to come up and throw some light on the scene, and then let's hope the fog will still be there. When I am at a new location, I usually have a pretty good idea about what I want to photograph. In this case, the town with the characteristic towers. The challenge is always to find a good composition that is both aesthetically pleasing and includes the weather phenomenon, which adds that extra special thing to the photos. I'm constantly scanning the environment for a potential scene and good photograph, and has over the years developed my own approach to composition and how I see lines, shapes, balance, repeating patterns and so on. If you want to learn how to compose your photos, be sure to get my 2 ebooks on composition and landscape photography. They're easy to read with minimal text and loads of photos to get to the point fast. As per always, thanks a lot for the 5-star reviews from those of you who've already got them. It's because of you I can do what I do. There are links to the ebooks in the description of the video. So now the sun is coming up and it just looks absolutely gorgeous. The fog has been thickening a little bit, so now we basically have really nice foreground fog all the way up to the town right here. Marvelous, absolutely marvelous. Using the long lens still, and really just, oops, wrong way. Zooming into the towers. We even have like the sun coming up. So right now we have a very nice dynamic scene, fog in the foreground and then light on the towers of San Gimignano, and then a little bit of texture in the clouds. Not a whole lot, but enough to just, yeah, should be able to pull out a few details in those clouds, even though I would have preferred in this particular case actually a blue sky, but I guess can't be too greedy now that I actually do get fog in this valley. Absolutely beautiful. So I've come to another viewpoint yet again, and right now we are just shooting out over this landscape here. As you can see, the sun is coming up over here and backlighting the fog just out over like Tuscany, and it's just layers upon layers upon layers upon layers. Absolutely gorgeous. Again, I'm shooting at f16. I'm on a tripod, ISO 100, overexposed a little bit because it's a relatively flat scene. So it gives me a shutter speed of 1/25th of a second in aperture priority. So again, I don't really care about that shutter speed. But the layers are just gorgeous, how they wrap into each other and how the fog just makes it all like pop so much more. Wow. Absolutely wow. What do you say, Sam? Is it good?
Amazing.
Amazing, yes. Amazing. Let me know down in the comments which photos you prefer. Those of the town San Gimignano or these more original and location independent photos. So this is just bonkers. Obviously in the exact right direction that we are photographing. Out here over the valley, just as the same shot as before, there are now some hot air balloons rising out there in the distance. I have time-lapsed them from like one direction, where you can see them a little bit, if you saw them. I don't know where I put it, a time-lapse. I'm putting it here, then you can see it again. And right now, I am time-lapsing this scene here too. So probably the hot air balloons will be like woo, flying all the way around. And those layers, man, like it's come on. Like layers upon layers upon layers, and there seems to be some farmhouses, there's some cypress trees, hot air balloons, backlit fog, just making this beautiful minimalist photo. F16 ISO 100, there's enough light now, so it gives me like 1/200th of a second of a shutter speed. And yeah, I'm just trying to like, you know, try to find balance in the photo and just trying to make the layers kind of fold into each other and repeat each other. We are walking along this road here in the background, so it does change the perspective a little bit with the foreground relative to the background. But yeah, absolutely worth getting out of bed for at 4:30 in the morning. Absolute. Some of the photos in this video require more editing than others. That's fairly typical when you want to draw out their optimal potential, and if you want to learn how I do this kind of editing, be sure to enroll in my huge Photoshop for landscape photographers post-processing course. It's 30 videos which should bring you from a beginner to an advanced user of Photoshop, enabling you to use focus stacking, luminosity masking, blending photos, while at the same time avoiding all the gritty and unwarranted editing mistakes. And if you already know Lightroom, it's even easier to get started. As with the ebooks, there is a link in the description of the video, and there is even a coupon code for the course so you can save a bit of money. So we were actually heading back to the hotel, but as we neared the hotel, we got another viewpoint where the atmosphere is still super strong. So right now, like the sun is up here, so it's like a completely backlit scene. So the fog is really just like carving out the landscape, and it looks absolutely gorgeous. You can see I'm working on this composition right here, and there's really not much to it. It's super simple. So I again just have the layers here of the foreground, which looks really nice. These vignettes, as far as I can see. Then a lot of cypress trees, a few pine trees, and then just layers all the way to the horizon. It's so nice. And especially at these viewpoints there, you can just like, with the long lens 100 to 400, just say, okay, there's a composition, there's a composition, there's a composition. Just shoot. And there's another hot air balloon. Probably the same as before. Nice. Let me know which photos you prefer down in the comments. If you missed last week's video, also from Italy, where I got some great photos throughout a sunset from the top of a mountain, be sure to click it on the screen right now. As always, Thanks a lot for watching, and check out the links in the description.